Welcome to Sovereign Mamas, the podcast sanctuary for visionary women who are building lives, businesses, and legacies in alignment with their feminine power. I'm your host, Julia Jerg, intuitive business coach, mama of two, and systems strategist for solo-led entrepreneurs. Here, we honor both your sacred role as a mama and your wild vision as a changemaker. Expect soul-aligned strategy, raw storytelling, behind the scenes, and powerful conversations that support you in scaling your business without sacrifice. If you're done choosing between success and sovereignty, you're home. Let's begin. Okay, welcome back to the Sovereign Mamas podcast. Your minute or your moment in time throughout a busy day, which I'm sure you have, and I want to thank you and honor yourself that you took out this time to just dive into conversations that matter, because this is what the podcast is all about. We are talking about the stories and the truths and the codes that are behind each and every brilliant guest that is here on this podcast. And I'm always amazed who's coming on and what the layer and the depth of these women. And I can already sense that this conversation today is not going to be any less than the other ones. Welcome, Atatea. I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Julia, for having me here.
Yes, and we're gonna go straight in because the label here on Zoom, if someone is watching, then you will see it says the Dream Woman. So welcome, the Dream Woman, I should say.
Yes. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me. And you're right. Nowadays, I do introduce myself as the Dream Woman, which is the archetype of my movement, the Dream Woman movement. And the Dream Woman is a version that is inside each and every one of us that I'm here to remind you of, to activate and awaken. So this is why I always introduce myself as a Dream Woman.
Yeah. So it's so interesting and it's such a aligned concept. And that's why I'm very excited to talk to you about all this. So when you look at the women who are coming into your world, what do you see they are most longing for these days? And maybe also what are they most afraid of?
Yes. Thank you for the question. So when I decided to become my own dream woman, it was a point in time, a line in the sand moment where I decided I will be the last woman to abandon myself, the last in my lineage, and the first to choose myself, and the first to choose to become my own dream woman. And this is the exact, I don't want to call people an archetype, but this is the exact position in which, or season of life, or transition in which women who come into my world are in. Is they are completely disconnected from their infinite self. It's usually women who are often successful on the outside, on paper, but empty on the inside, unfulfilled. They feel there's more about them and more about their lives, but they haven't quite touched it, or they can't name it yet. So there's a disconnection. And they're often women who have dove so deep into one role that that's the only way they see themselves. And it could be, that happens often as mothers. We want to be, we take our job at this role so seriously that because we want to do our best, we just hyper focus on it, and we lose ourselves in the role and forget that we are multidimensional beings. We are women, we're lovers, we're creators, we're sovereign leaders, we're all these things. And so women who come into my world have this longing of reconnecting to all aspects of themselves. and but they are stuck in self-sacrifice, very much understanding love as self-sacrifice, as caring more than others.
Right. Oh, beautiful. And so your work centers really around breaking those cycles. And so I'm curious, what does it actually then look like in a mother's daily life? And maybe also what's the first sign when when these women are ready to become sovereign?
Yeah, it's a great question because it happened to me as well as a
Mm.
mother. It's like in my own journey of sovereignty, I went through the ones when I became a mother too. And that one for me, and I see that in the women I work with, is this sense of like I've lost a piece of me. I've
Mhm.
lost the woman. Like I don't have, my mission has become just my family, my kids, and I just hyper focus on this role, and I exist, and I only understand myself through this role.
Mhm.
I do not connect or allow other desires. I don't make space for what my higher self would want to do, or my soul mission, or getting to understand my soul codes, remembering who am I beyond those responsibilities, beyond the times where I'm needed or not, beyond what I do and give to others. So when you start having those questions, identity slash existential question, usually there's a longing there, and you want to be seen in a different way. You want to remember who you are beyond that, because it feels very limited, even though there is fulfillment in being a mother, but it's still, you still sense that there's more. But you can fall into guilt and never admit that and take a step to get curious about it. So you get stuck in self-judgment
Mhm.
instead of being curious and then discovering that you could you can explore all parts of yourself and be an even greater um, even greater at all your roles, even greater mother,
Mhm.
happier, more fulfilled.
And it seems almost like our generation has this task or this we are maybe now ready to break these patterns and the cycle because our mothers, grandmothers, they were just born in a time where martyrism, is that the word? Like being a martyr,
Oh
um,
yeah, yes, martyrdom.
martyrdom, yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
That's just part of their identity almost, like the generation. I see both my mom and my grandma
yes,
owning this
and
role. And so now coming, through all the phases and the women empowerment movement and everything helped us then see, but there's still this layer inside the family that is from those old generations. And so I feel like it's so important, such an important mission to now stop and say, no, it's actually the mother is the light of the house, the leader of the family. And if we are not, the dream woman, then how can the dream family be? So it's so
yeah,
amazing what
and
you.
this is actually how I describe who I work with, mothers of light, who are the women of the family who activates remembrance for the family. And
Mhm.
once women and that is the the becoming of the dream woman. Once each woman becomes her own dream woman, she invites her partner to step into his or her or theirs highest potential too. And
Mhm.
then when you both rise into your highest selves or potential, then you become the dream family. The dream family is this reunion between the highest selves. So it's like the highest potential of a family. And this is when I believe you become this family of light, the dream family, the new vessel for change. You birth the new earth, the dream earth, from this highest perspective, the soul perspective. And for me, this is when true innovation starts, because we've then, if you're able to step there, and it's a journey, it's a daily practice too, you have unbecome a lot of things. You have undone, redefined key concepts, who you are, what love means, how the role fulfillment has in your life. You've changed a bit your value system. And so you're less in self-sacrifice. I mean, it's hard because it's so deeply ingrained in us, and it becomes more and more subtle as you continue the journey of remembrance. But it feels like it's going to be a lifelong journey.
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, rewiring our brain, breaking or changing paradigms. This is, it's not a lighthearted mission, and it's not something that you do once. Like, I feel like it's a routine. It's a new being, a new becoming, and so,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it's a total new breed of women, of people. And one thing that helps me, you mentioned our grandparents or even mothers. Like for me, knowing that they couldn't, but I can, gives me courage, fuels my courage. And also looking at my daughter, I know she's my teacher. And I know that she's, from a consciousness perspective, she's more evolved than I am. And so I have to keep doing my work to be the best environment, the best supporter for her. So she motivates me too, because
Beautiful.
we here to we remember, so we make sure they don't forget.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful. And so you're from Tahiti, and then you have lived in many different countries. What would you say? How have these different environments shaped you in your motherhood also, and as a woman?
yeah. So I would say my becoming, my sovereignty journey started at 17 when I took a one-way ticket out of Tahiti. I decided that I I I am the master of my own life. And I've grew up with a certain models of women, and it doesn't feel right to me. I don't know what other models there are, but I'm going to find out. So I went on a quest for answers. And so all the countries I've traveled have been guided by my intuition, and I knew exactly where to go without any evidences my mind couldn't explain. And I knew exactly when to live as well and to move to the next. And it's interesting because in each country I've was able to decide, who am I, in a different way, right? And each country was one was more career focused, the others was more relationship / love focused. So I was able to also, they shape those different aspects of me, those different facets of me. But ultimately, this outer journey showed me that the most important is the inner journey. And I had to go back home. I did a full circle. I went to go back home, and I understood that I had to really heal some key relationships before I could be the kind of mother I wanted to be. I had to reparent myself. So it was the outer journey triggered the inner journey, and they both complemented each other in beautiful ways.
I love that. And it's very much, yeah, I can relate a lot. I also, through traveling the world, I actually found myself. And I feel
Yes.
like a lot of people who do this, who go see places, experience other cultures and meet other people, they then realize, or yeah, people are mirrors, right? So each time
Yes.
you see someone, you see a part of yourself. And not that it's necessary, but it's a nice way of getting to know yourself and um, yeah, assemble your journey. But then it's always coming back home to your roots again, right? You can
Yeah. Yeah.
run away from it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is also what I realized. I think at the beginning, I was running away,
Hmm.
but you can run away, but it's not until you confront things that they actually dissolve. And that was a whole lesson too from that journey. It's like,
Hmm.
well, and I still live abroad. My husband is American, but I am at full peace with my story, my past.
Yeah, that's good. And do you feel that like nowadays a lot of women maybe feel ahead of their time, especially in the family dynamic? And what would you say helps them, like a visionary mother, really stay anchored when the people around them, and maybe that even is in the context of your former family, like, or the family you were born into, right? But also in the family that you're now creating yourself. Like what helps those mothers stay anchored when the people around them are not yet understanding the path that you're choosing?
Mm. I love this question. And I've been asking myself, this has been a question that's been with me for weeks and months now, and an initiation I'm going through as well. For me, things have started shifting in a meaningful way when I stopped seeing my family as separate from my mission.
Mhm.
And here I'm talking about at the energetics level first, like the mindset. How do you look at things, right? And so I've realized the more I see separation between, like, within me and around me, in between, okay, this is my soul mission that I conduct through my soul business, but my family is also part of my soul mission. They're just a different vessel through which I live it. And so when you start broadening how you embody your soul mission, and you start seeing them not as a distraction, not as something that slow you down, which I definitely been there. I've been through parts of my journey where I felt motherhood was in the way, and I need a lot of time to hear my thoughts, and then your toddler is interrupting every 5 seconds, and it's like, it's really hard, right? It's like, but it has helped me. I'm still human, and my human is suffers, but it has helped me tremendously get the support from my partner, and also understanding from my daughter, who is only 4.5, but now she understands because I talk to her about what I do, and I set boundaries, and I and I can talk about examples, but yes, removing separation, that's number one.
Mhm.
Helps you anchor, right? And then developing, creating structures that help you, or practices that help you do this with them. For instance, with my husband, I bring him more and more into my business. That's just one way. Or I talk to him more about what I do in detail. And I ask him for time and space when he's open to hear me out, because I want to feel seen in that.
Mhm.
And that one thing led to the other. And then sometimes I when my daughter last week didn't have school, I had to figure out a way, right? And I just talked to her. I said, we'll do one puzzle. And then after, I just need 15 minutes in silence. where I just need to write something, and you can sit next to me and draw. Would that work? Yes. And she holds her promises, and we talk about that. So
Mhm.
different ways, but the point here to remember is to believe in it and work towards it together as a family.
Yes, yes, yes. And I mean, this is what this movement is all about, like the Sovereign Mamas movement, because I do truly believe that, like you just beautifully described, this is just one of the examples, but our children also feel when it's really coming from a soul place, right? And if you're
Yes.
not just, I don't know, a bad example, something like if you're pushing them away because you want to do something not meaningful, right? It's a different
Mhm.
energy. And so
Yes.
if you are asking for space because you truly like feel this urge and longing to do something that will ripple into other people's lives, that's such a energetic big ask. Your children will understand. And so I see this in my boys, and now I'm in a place where I feel like, there's
Yeah.
6 and 8. I'm just breathing out now. But
Mm.
I've walked this path since like I've been doing it solo since my little one was nearly 2 and the other one nearly 4. And
Wow.
so I've had moments where I was like, how am I going to do this? But
Yes.
it's not, this was actually never really the question. It's just like, how am I going to do it so we're all feeling good about it? Right?
Yes.
It's not about
Yes.
pushing through. It's not about imposing I'm more important, but including them. And so it helped me always, even though I conceptually thought they didn't get what I'm doing, but the way I spoke about it, they don't know what a podcast was back then. Like podcast, like this is not a word but now they understand that's something important for mommy, right? There's something
Yes.
that she does with other people, and they always say, "Who was that?" Like if there was like, oh, when I'm about to release a new episode, and they get curious, and then I speak about the themes, and so it's I feel we're priming them, like we're showing them that there is so many more, like aside from following your own soul calling, but there are so many more ways to spend your time
Yes.
and your energy on also, not just going into a soul-sucking job in the office. Not that it's for everyone the way, but that you can also like really have some meaningful mission and fund your family with it, right? And
Yes.
yeah, so I love that you're already in communication with your daughter and that she's getting it, and yeah, co-working
Yeah. Yeah,
situation.
yeah, co-working. Yeah, no, she's part of the team, the dream team. And, as you were talking, there's something I want to add that I think it's important. Like, how do you continue to stay anchored as a visionary woman in your family? Is also to lengthen your time horizon. That has
Mhm.
been key for me
Yeah.
because I was in business masterminds, big spaces where people's lives are so different, right? And you forget that sometimes. And so you just compare the outcomes and you feel people are moving faster than you, and you get into comparison mode, and that is not helpful for mothers. To
No.
If you can afford it, I know it can be a luxury, but if you can just choose a slower growth,
Hmm.
I like, for me, that was now a conscious choice. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to trust. If things take more time, they take more time. If I don't do Black Friday, or if I do Black Friday next week, it doesn't matter. And somebody, my mentor told me, yeah, you could do first snow offer. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Every day is a good day to share something with the world. So yeah,
Exactly.
remove
Yeah.
that pressure, basically.
That's a big one. And that's, I feel like, I hope the listeners today really hear this as their permission slip to
Yes,
lean back. Like when you are in your season of motherhood, you cannot run like when you were 20, 30, right? Or
exactly.
pre-children, doesn't matter the age.
Yeah.
But yes, really owning that you have a different rhythm and priorities. And so there is this trusting again. And
Yes.
it's a new concept that we're as mothers learning, and this helps so much in all the other areas of life. So it's actually such a gift, I feel. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
And speaking of, yeah, Black Friday obviously has passed, it offers, but still, and this episode airs not not around this time anyways, but you have a new offer coming out this month, and it is for families. What is it called? And maybe you want to share a little bit about it, what it does for
Yes.
families.
Yes. So I think it's called, we'll see. Um, but it's called Limitless Together, Become Your Dream Family.
Mm,
So it's about the dream family. So it could be for any dream woman or visionary woman who wants to take her family with her
mm,
and build a vision, a joint vision where there's space for her highest potential as well as her partner's highest potential. And so then we go back to the dissolution of separation becomes easier because you don't feel like his dream or her dream compete with yours.
mhm,
It's been discussed once. You see, you look in the same direction, you value the same thing, you want the same thing, and you understand how to support each other and what is needed for each. And so then it's more like quote unquote implementation
mhm,
and then figuring out how you like to be, yeah, supported, love through this, what you need, and what sort of practices and rituals help you to keep that vision to evolve with you over time because it's a living and breathing vision. It's not thing static, but the what it's trying to respond to is this tension within families where visionary women have this lonely experience and feel
mm,
separated and feel they have to choose between their calling and their family, love or mission, destiny. So we
mm,
don't want, I want to help families transcend that paradigm and find practical ways to live it in
mhm.
ways that are easier.
And so this program includes the men also, like they participate, or is it more like you teach the mothers and then they take it home?
Great question. So, this one is a facilitated experience. It's just a couple of hours,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like a visioning session, a couple of hours with both partners. But before that, there's pre work where me and my husband will be interviewing the families.
Nice. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, to really understand because we want to extract dreams and truth from each person. Extract is not a good word for this. This is very no. Yeah, we want to just let it
Wow.
emerge. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, and have this moment of truth
Mm-hmm.
within themselves and safety. Um, and then bring that together and look
Mm-hmm.
at have a snapshot of the family. Okay, what's working, what needs more love and attention, and how do we rethink things so that there's room for everything and everybody
Beautiful.
without self-sacrifice. That is the goal. No more self-sacrifice.
Yeah. Because do you feel like this happens both on the mothers and the fathers end?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Coming together
Yes.
on the table, right? Yeah,
Yes.
it's a great
You
idea.
yes, you see men sacrifice as well.
Mm. Maybe they do.
Sacrificing, yeah, in a different ways, but men have dreams too, but they
Mm.
have this pressure of being a provider in a very specific way. Like they're fulfilled through their providership, but is
Mhm.
also they also want more. And I see that more and more.
Yeah. But it's really an interesting like a topic also to see what role does the man actually play in a dynamic, and it's this new paradigm of the woman rising, right? So just like where, like how, what's history?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And as the woman becomes a dream woman, she holds the frequency,
Hmm.
and while she holds, there's going to be the tension, right? They can grow apart or together. And so the dream family experience is to help with the co-expansion instead
Hmm.
of the break.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a relationship
So,
longer. Nice.
yes.
Nice. Ah, I love this conversation so much.
Me too.
Um, and
Uh,
for mothers who are listening and they might feel like a call to reshape their family, but they don't believe they have permission or they can't, or for whatever reason is coming up. What what would you say to them today? Like, is there anything
yeah.
advice?
I would tell them that their becoming, their evolution,
Hmm.
them becoming their own dream woman is the best gift they can gift the world. The world, their families, their children. It's really their legacy. Our becoming is our legacy because the new world is built through frequency. It's
Hmm.
just a different way we elevate everything. And so for a woman to learn to become sovereign, to choose herself to become someone who leads from possibility, from vision, and from unconditional love and light, and really sees that there's room for everything. There's really this new way of thinking about love as expansive, flexible.
Hmm.
Um, she becomes a model of new possibility, and she becomes a model for her family to become fulfilled as well. So for me, when you choose to become your own dream woman, you normalize fulfillment. And this is part of my mission too, inclusive ascension, normalizing fulfillment as the baseline, not as a retirement project or a nice to have. It's like,
Hmm.
no, let's give everybody a chance to understand what fulfillment means to them by being the model first.
Hmm.
So yeah, choosing themselves is the least selfish thing they can do. It's a
Yeah,
gift.
yeah. Yeah, and we can't hear this enough and often enough because yes, it's so deeply ingrained, and like we said before, the generations before modeled a complete opposite of the more you do, the more you give, the better you are, and the better like label is then printed on you. And so
Yes.
thank you for bringing this conversation on the show today. I really, truly, deeply feel that this is important and that we're on the verge of making this mainstream and having more
Yeah.
women rise up and saying, yes, of course, no, this is the new normal. And
Yes.
yeah, so I'm very
Yes.
happy to meet more and more women like you because it's so refreshing to see that we are changing, at one conversation at a time. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And thank you for the work you do as well, Sovereign Mamas. And I remember reading your page and your work and just felt so seen and so hopeful and so empowered that I love seeing more and more examples out there.
Hmm.
And you create this platform where mothers can share their stories. And I think that's so important to see, for mothers to see evidences, because like you said, it's hard to believe that
Hmm.
choosing yourself is not selfish. It is really hard.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
yeah.
we must. It's a revolution. It's hard, of course. We're fighting hundreds of centuries of conditioning, but we have to do it. And the world, the future depends on that. No pressure, but
Depends on us.
yeah, it's true.
Thank you for
So
seeing that, yes, and saying this. Yeah, I think with these are beautiful words. I would like to end the episode. Thank you really, really, really so much for taking the time and being here and sharing everything with us. And in the show notes, the listeners can reach out and find you. And I hope they do, and I'm sure they will. And yeah, thank you everyone who was here today. If anything sparked something inside of you, please share it with us. It's always such a nice feedback to hear what these conversations do with you. And with that, I leave you to whatever you are doing. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I shall see or hear you in the next episode. Thanks, Mother dear.
Thank you, Julia. Bye.
Bye.